you'll recall the other day, Donald Trump announced to the world that al-Baghdadi was killed like a dog. Kudos to Jimmy Kimmel. This is clip number 9. They came up with the idea of comparing, because we keep saying, like, can you imagine if Obama had done this or something like that? Bin
Laden died like a dog.
He
was begging for his life.
Clip number 9. Do you have it?
It was like a dog. I'll just do an Obama impression for a second. It's all right.
Well, and we've said this a million times. Like, what if Obama did this? And now we have a sort of an apples to apples type of comparison. Here's Jimmy Kimmel announcing how they decided to do this mashup here.
By the way, when Obama went on TV to announce that they'd killed bin Laden, he spoke for 9.5 minutes. Trump yesterday did 48 minutes on this. And for further comparison, we thought it might be fun to mash up Trump's speech about al-Baghdadi with Obama's about bin Laden, and we were right, it was.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
The United States launched a targeted operation against that compound.
They did a lot of shooting, and they did a lot of blasting, even not going through the front door. You think you go through the door. If you're a normal person, you say, knock, knock, may I come in?
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog. A talented dog.
We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation.
And I don't get any credit for this, but that's okay. I never do. But here we are.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And I'm writing a book. I think I wrote 12 books. All did very well.
That's really amazing. It's really amazing.
By the way, Dreams of My Father reissued in paperback. What?
I mean, it's funny, obviously, the difference in what Trump can get away with, but they are saying basically the same thing.
That is true. We both carried out
Without
extrajudicial murders of well, actually,
Exactly.
I mean, in some ways, even the bin Laden raid is even more.
It's worse.
I was going to say the bin Laden raid is worse.
I mean, this was on a theoretically theoretically a battlefield. There's an ongoing hostilities. It seems like they could have gone in, and they definitely had the opportunity to take bin Laden, alive. And frankly, from trying bin Laden as opposed to al-Baghdadi, because that is more like on some level, trying bin Laden would have been far more of a gesture of showing, that our justice system works. One would imagine there might also be some measure of intelligence that would have been important to gather from bin Laden. But he was summarily executed. Bin Laden was. I mean, and I don't know the details quite yet of al-Baghdadi, but bin Laden, it was worse. There's no doubt. I mean, and at the time, there was very few people who were saying that this was wrong. But nevertheless, probably in both instances, not anything to go out and brag about. At least, Obama played the role of somebody who was sort of somewhat reluctant, I guess.
Well, in a way, I don't know. I might rather have the just insane grotesqueness of American imperial violence laid bare in the way that Trump does it than concealed beneath this like incredibly hypnotic and likable exterior that Obama always had.
I think
development series for Netflix in the works.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for that, but I also think that, sadly, it's not like anybody was offended at the act anymore because of Trump, the way that he came out about it. You didn't hear anybody saying, I'm not convinced that what happens when someone acts that way is that we really expose the true, barbarism. I think what happens is just like...
You don't think that liberals responded way better to Obama's speech than Trump's?
I think they responded better to the speech, but I haven't seen a single. I mean, if you see a piece that says like we should have captured al-Baghdadi as opposed to killing him, I'm open.
No, I mean,
to it.
I thought that was a great bit. It was hilarious, but I mean, that kind of exposes exactly the point. The critique is all on aesthetics. I mean, no one is saying, yeah. I mean that, yeah.
I mean, that's my point. And to the extent that there's a liberal critique of it, it's on aesthetics. To the extent that it's received by, the country, at least a certain percentage of them, it's basically all it does is it debases stuff more. It's I'm going to put a boot in their ass and, America, it's Lee Greenwood stuff.
I think it's extra grotesque, and a lot of people are noticing.
I think it illustrates something, but I also think I worry what kind of license Trump is giving.
That's my point.
That's
my point.
Like this.
That's my point.
I think it's making people relearn bad things about what they're capable of.
I also think
folks,
the other thing.
ways.
I just want to say, I don't care. I mean, I care about the structural problems, but I don't care about Baghdadi or Bin Laden dying at all. The context of the Pakistani raid also was a fake CIA vaccination program,
yes,
which they needed to get in order to match, I think, DNA with Bin Laden. So there was a strategic reason behind it, but the upshot was they didn't actually vaccinate people, so it was fake vaccinations, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know. And the bigger upshot is it
destroyed the vaccination program in Pakistan.
And as far as Nigeria, aid workers were under threat because actually people had some rightful I mean, there's such a massive skepticism across the world about even people doing, basic aid work, and people in the United States and their insularity are like, oh, why would you be skeptical? Well, because the rest of the world is quite aware of stories like that.
It was a closed end. They call it a closed end tunnel. Not a good place to be.
Colin from